Good morning and welcome to the weekend edition of the program Daybreak Nigeria on television. Nigerian interesting event. As we open this broadcast, our heart goes out to the nine journalists that were killed in Afghanistan as we continue to mark the World Press Freedom Day. My name is Anthony Momodi. Welcome to today's show. I'm not alone.
All right, my name is Cynthia Agbo, and of course, it's a Friday. Thank God it's a Friday. Everybody loves a Friday because it marks the end of the working week. Not that for those of you that don't want to work on Saturday and on Sunday. I also sit back and relax as we bring you major things that we have for you today.
All right, we've got these 3Ds just for you to get to know something very instructive that's going to help you develop as a human being. The first D goes for discovery. It means self-awareness, know your strength and weakness by knowing what makes you happy when you do it. Then we've got the next D that stands for developing yourself by adding knowledge, skills and practice by going to seminars and other issues just to improve your talent. And the last D we've got is deploying your talent and skills. That's the only way you can add value to other people. Very essential. These three is just for you.
All right, so that's about picking the Nigerian squad that would be going to Russia. Also, we're looking at form and injury worries for Super Eagles ahead of Russia 2018.
All right, definitely we've got Chika Chukwumeje, one of Nigeria's finest taekwondo athletes ever, is here with us today to share how well taekwondo is doing in Nigeria. But before we kick off that up, let's start with our concerns from the day and from the foreign scene. We've got that deadly rain and dusty storm has killed many in India. Very sad commentary.
And the devils watching a multi times the level remaining in Germany, lying to regulators.
All right, that issue of as regards Volkswagen emission, the CEO then talking about Mr. Martin Winterkorn is facing charges in US, but could avoid prosecution as long as he remains in Germany because German laws do not allow for extradition of persons as regards cases outside Germany. All right, let's go to the US and say that Trump has admitted repaying his lawyer the $130,000 paid to an adult film star.
Should we recommend Twitter for informing users?
All right, the story says that Twitter this morning did tell all users to change their passwords because it has been compromised. What said the issue has been fixed. No data was misused or stolen. That's what Twitter is saying. But one of the commentators said we should commend Twitter for letting the world know that. Do you think that should be the way forward? Because
yes,
they were more forthcoming than Facebook.
Yes, it's good that they informed the users. But before now, I think about a month ago, we had a case where something went wrong with Twitter because you see someone who had like 100 followers had having 1,000 followers. There was this ton of people that had 50,000 followers, so they're having like 20,000 followers. So I think there was something wrong at that period. People were having massive followers, while some were having lower followers. So there was a bridge somewhere, but there was no explanation that people didn't really get to understand what was going on. So I think now that they're coming out, this was like a month ago. So now that they're coming out to say, okay, there have been some bridge. I think it's a good one.
All right, let's go to a very exciting story as regards the North and South Korean people. Just today, it broke that North Korea going forward would adopt the South Korean time zone. That is massive. It tells you that this reunion between the North and South is for real.
All right, let's go to the foreign scene. I'll give you the big stories happening and around the world. 6 critically endangered rhinos are being transported to Chad from South Africa.
And let's go to Mozambique and tell them Mozambique's opposition leader, Afonso de la Cama, is dead at the age of 65.
Seasonal rainfalls has caused flooding in Uganda.
And going to South Africa, I say that South African gold producers have paid $400 million compensation to miners with lung diseases.
That's a good one. North India, deadly rain and dusty storm has killed over 100 people with trees and houses destroyed.
And in Sudan is reassessing her role in the Syrian war.
And in Kenya, flooding has left 100 dead with more than 200 100 persons displaced.
Let's say the actor Bill Cosby and director Roman Polanski have been expelled from the Oscar Academy.
Sad.
Sad story after so much work done.
Yes. Twitter has urged users to change their password after a computer glitch, but says the problem has been fixed with no data stolen or used.
And going to Turkey, let's say that Turkish opposition groups have united against Erdogan ahead of June elections.
And Bangladesh cyclone season threatens Rohingya refugees.
All right, and in U.S., Donald Trump has admitted repaying his lawyer Michael Cohen $130,000 paid to adult film star.
UN chief has called for protection of journalists on the World Press Freedom Day.
And let's tell you the former Volkswagen chief CEO Martina Winterkorn has been charged in the U.S. over emissions scandal.
Pakistan has reopened the trade route with Afghanistan.
And Turkish inflation surged in April as lira slided.
And finally, North Korea is to adopt South Korean time zone.
All right, heading into the sporting arena, let's tell you that Arsenal has been dumped out of the Europa Cup final after losing 1-0 to Atletico Madrid in the second leg in Spain. Arsenal had won 2-1 at the Emirates.
Salzburg was also bundled out of the Europa Cup final after a 2-1 win at home to French giant Marseille, having lost 2-0 in the first leg.
All right, so now you know those who are getting into the finals of the Europa Cup. It's Marseille making it into the finals. Poor Arsenal not making it through. So Atletico and Marseille will be in Lyon, and it means Marseille is going to be playing at home. Wishing them all the best of luck. It's time for us to get to know how great Nigeria is.
The phenomenon of multiple taxation is a common reality faced by many Nigerians operating in the informal sector, with Delta State a case study of the harsh reality.
And gender equality in Nigeria has strong expressions in rural and urban environments due to the cultural and institutional bias.
Oxfam Nigerian survey carried out show that 61.8% of the urban population lived below the national poverty line in 2009 and 2010 compared to 73.2% of the rural population.
Let's leave Nigeria. It's time for us to know Africa because they were truly dressed like Africans today.
International report of 2016 recorded pardon of death sentences in 34 countries, with West African countries like Mali, Nigeria, Ghana, Liberia mentioned as implementing nations.
All right, the only northern African country recorded was Egypt, while the Democratic Republic of Congo, Zambia, Zimbabwe, and Swaziland were from eastern and southern Africa.
Amnesty International said at least 1,990 citizens were sentenced to death in 61 countries. The 2015 death sentences ratio was recorded highest in 4 countries, namely Nigeria, 171, Egypt, 538, DRC, 28, and Kenya, 30. All
right, today on World Statistics and Focus, we're focusing on human development, and it says human development is under threat from many sources. In 2014, the world witnessed widespread conflict, violence, and human rights violations that resulted in a massive displacement of people within and outside their countries.
At the end of 2014, about 60 million had been displaced worldwide, the highest level recorded since the Second World War.
Wow, that's awesome. All right, let's tell you that if these people who have been displaced were a country, it would be the 24th largest country in the world. Wow. Tells you how massive the displacement was.
Okay, let's go to the nation's cup.
Yeah, we are picking Ethiopia today, and she's looking like an Ethiopian woman today. And so let's know a little bit about Ethiopia. Ethiopia, officially the Federal Democratic Republic of Ethiopia, a country located in the Horn of Africa, making them very strategic. It shares borders with Eritrea to the north and northeast, Djibouti and Somalia to the east, Sudan and South Sudan to the west, and Kenya to the south.
With over 100 million inhabitants, Ethiopia is the most populous landlocked country in the world, wow, as well as the second most populous nation in the African continent. after Nigeria.
Yeah.
It occupies a total area of 1,100,000 square kilometers, and its capital and largest city is Addis Ababa.
Oh, now you know, modern humans out of the Middle East and places beyond. It was the first independent member from Africa of the 20th Century League of Nations and the United Nations. In 1974, Ethiopian monarchy under Haile Selassie was overthrown by the Derg, a communist military government backed by the Soviet Union. Soviet Union, now USSR, now Russia.
Ethiopia is the place of origin for the coffee bean, which
Thinking of live television on the go? Think no more. Television Nigerian has got you covered, no matter your age, your education, language, whether it's in your car, in your office, or any other place of your choice. You can depend on Television Nigerian anytime, any day, and anywhere. We are online 24/7. You can catch the latest news, politics, sports, and entertainment via your mobile phone, your tablet, or any other device at no extra data charges or costs. Just like our Facebook page, Television Nigerian. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, Television Nigerian, and also follow us on Twitter and Instagram at TV Nigerian to enjoy all that television can offer.
Qualified and experienced team secondary levels. Living Treasure Academy, committed to excellence. For almost a decade, the Nigerian army have given their all to ensure that our dear country is not overrun by Boko Haram insurgents. some have in the process paid the ultimate price, while many will forever live with indelible scars occasioned by their determination to protect the country, no matter the hurdle. Despite these, they have remained resolute and undaunted, and today, all territories the insurgents want to control of have been recaptured and normalcy restored. And now, for the first time in a long time, the end of Boko Haram is foreseeable. Therefore, the wisest thing for the remaining insurgents to do is to surrender today or face total destruction from the army. Remember, the Nigerian army will stop at nothing to ensure that total peace is restored in all parts of the country. So, be wise and embrace peace today or get ready to be ruthlessly dealt with. This message is brought to you by the Coalition on Conflict Resolution and Human Rights in Nigeria.
Welcome back from that break. It's time for us to hit the discuss segment. I will have right here the technical director of the Nigerian Taekwondo Federation, and he has won lots of medals for Nigeria at the Olympic Games and other championships he has attended. And probably he will do us honors and reel out some of the outstanding achievements he has gathered while representing Nigeria. We've got Chika Chumeride right here in the live studios. Awesome. Good morning. Nice to have you.
Nice to meet you.
Right now I feel all right, take us through Taekwondo. How has it been in Nigeria? First of all, we'd like to know a lot of medals you've won while representing Nigeria, and how difficult or taxing it was.
I mean, obviously the main one was the bronze at the bench in 2008 Olympics.
Okay.
And I attended 3 All African Games, and I ended up in each of them. I won a bronze, then a gold, then a silver. And the Commonwealth, I won a silver medal in 2014. And of course, it was challenging because most of the time you had to depend on support from friends and family. And of course, sometimes the ministry also came in and supported, but it was good. But it has shifted from me to ensuring the next generation actually does much better. And now we will be on the board as technical director. Our technical focus has actually been on human development programs. Specifically, we noticed that the coaches lacked a lot of, they needed a lot of updates to the latest teaching methodologies and all that across the country. So the first thing we actually started were coaching workshops, which we've done in all the geopolitical zones apart from the south. And
is there a reason why the south has been left out?
They were meant to do it last week actually, but they were not ready and they asked for a bit more time to get the people together, which we agreed to. So I'm sure that before the end of May or June, definitely the South to have the coaching program. And it was, each time we went there, it was like, you know, when it dries sponge, you put a drop of water.
It's so clear.
Yes. Like I remember the first one we did was in the northeast. We went to Maiduguri, and nobody had ever done a program there before. And it was amazing that they were learning things that I assumed they should already have known. So they were very grateful for it. Also, in this period, we've organized 3 competitions, 2 international competitions and 1 national competition. And the president, who is the first female president for the federation ever, she said that what she wants to do is, she wants to have a major program in each of the 37 states during the tenure. I've already covered about 9 states already, you know, because for the past 40 years, most of the programs were in Lagos and a few were in Abuja, you know, so it only made more sense to take it around. So that's with regards to developing the coaches and the referees,
Okay.
because they need to know the latest rules. Because we firmly believe that if you can develop this tool, you're going to have stronger athletes come from the grassroots, and when they make it to the national team, it's going to be easier. Now, another thing we wanted to do is to increase the opportunities to the coaches. So before, you just had the national coach and the assistant.
Okay.
And what we've done is we want to not only have a senior national team, but we're creating the opportunity for the junior national team, the cadet national team, and the kiddies national team. Because internationally, you have events for these cadets. So as we speak, on the 14th and 15th, you're going to have the first ever junior national taekwondo championships. That one will be nowhere. Yes.
Is the reason why you chose Owerri?
We have a very rich calendar.
Okay.
It goes across board. Like I think the cadet national championships will be in Ibadan.
Okay.
So we are picking cities that really don't have activities.
Okay.
So being from Borno to Zamfara to Oshun, so to Benue, Makodi. So the calendar is carefully balanced to make sure the activities get to everybody,
okay,
which is only fair, And Owerri, that's just the turn. That's what came to them.
Okay.
And the winners from that event would enter national camp immediately.
Wow.
Because the ministry has already told the federation to get ready for the African Youth Games, which is coming up in Algeria in July. So they're starting camp in 10th. So instead of just picking people, which is what is done in the past, which I think is neither fair nor transparent, we decided to do our tournament, and the winners from this tournament will now go into camp. Another reason we're going to do it is that during the National Youth Games, they usually select only 4 weight categories out of a possible 20.
Wow.
Unfortunately, like the last one I was there, and the 4 that were chosen are not Nigeria's strong points in Taekwondo. So we need to have this national tournament with a broader number of categories, so that we'll select from the more of the heavier weight categories where we've traditionally been stronger than other African
We're
countries.
better in the heavyweight category.
The welter.
Is it because of our build or?
I mean, I don't know. From the time of Emmanuel Peters, when he won the silver at the 1992 Barcelona Olympics, and when you look at the history of the African Games, we always tend to do well in the welter, middle, heavyweight.
And that's where you fell in.
Yeah. I was in the heavyweight category. So I think the federation is very active, and the only challenge we've had winning is, one, I think we need to get the investors on track. So across board, the federations always have this issue. They have the issue of accountability, of is this the right people to invest in. I think we've been very active. Internationally, some of our athletes were at the African Cup in Morocco.
Right.
They were also at the President's Cup, which are very high rated events. And we got to see firsthand what the opposition will look like for the All African Games next year, which is key for us. And as I speak currently, the youth, there are 2 of our youth athletes competing at the Gymnasium Summer School Sports Games in Marrakech, in Morocco.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. And why it's important is, I think the best legacy this administration do for the next is to expose the young athletes. So personally, as technical director, that's where my focus is. So if you give me funding, I'll make sure they give me 60% of it.
Okay.
So they might not win anything, but that exposure is what we're going to see manifest in a few years in the senior Olympics and World Championships.
Let's go to the beginning of this taekwondo. Some people have just been hearing taekwondo, they don't really know what it is, and even if they want to have interest, they need to know what it entails, what you need to have, those qualities you need to start working on for you to be part of taekwondo. So can you just put us through on what is this taekwondo, the benefits, and also not like the monetary aspect now, like as a person, what it do, what it is for you, because someone might also be asking, what do I stand to get?
All right, taekwondo. The word tai is the legs, the kwon is the hand, and do means the art. So it literally means the art of kicking and punching. So originally it originated from South Korea, but of course it has become a global sport.
Okay.
So it's one of those sports that has the martial arts component to it and the sporting component to it.
Okay.
And first thing I'll tell you is that if you're a parent out there and your child is not doing a taekwondo or some sort of martial art, then you're robbing the child of a complete education. And I'll tell you why. One, it builds the confidence of the child, the ability to not get bullied in school. You know, for adults, if you have if you're not in the armed forces or whatever, and you have some sort of physical whatever, you could call the police, you could call the army, you could go to court. That's how it's settled. But in secondary schools, in primary schools, you can't watch over your child all the time. So you get bullying, you get into fights and all that. And I can tell you that when I was in school, I never had all those issues. They just knew him as this guy that can take care of himself, so they left me alone. So that's the first advantage you give
So
your
you
child.
went on fighting in school?
I didn't have to, because I just knew, just leave this one. So first for self-defense, and it builds confidence. And of course, general fitness and all that. And most importantly, the discipline. Because for us, it's almost like a military sport. So don't be late, be respectful, make sure your uniform is neat and all that. So it's actually quite a wonderful discipline to be in, you know. And for people who want to take it on, you don't have to be young. So even the old can do it. Have Kurogi, which is the actual fighting in the sport, and you have these forms called Pumse. It's like this slow yoga-like movements, you know. So even for the old ones, they could use it to improve their coordination, improve their fitness and all that. So it's something I would really recommend for people out there. And when you do it, it doesn't mean you couldn't do other sports. Because I remember when I was schooling in the UK, I used to play volleyball and basketball for my university team. And it didn't stop me practicing my taekwondo, you know. So I recommend it. Maybe we could start with both of you next time.
Okay, I think that my bones are ready to stick for that right now.
No, not at all. We'll make them more flexible.
That's going to be dislocation. It's going to take place.
All right, you made mention of funds as something very critical for taekwondo to grow in Nigeria. What is the response from corporate organizations, and how far and how have you gone?
I mean, I think, like, I'll give you an example. In 7 months, we did 12 programs. And most of it came from internal generated revenue and, of course, from the pockets of board members for now. And first, we want to engage a marketer which we just did. And I spoke with the executives some weeks ago, and I want the strategy to change to, we need to full-on try and get investors in.
Okay.
And we've gotten some response, but I mean, it's not appropriate to talk about the details now.
Okay.
And we hope that in the next 1-2 months, we're going to have those meetings, because we don't just want to sponsor a championship, so those little things. We want infrastructural development. So, for instance, taekwondo has never had a national training center. And if you don't have where you train national athletes, first of all, you're already grooming yourself to fail. And we need to expose from the kiddies to the adults internationally. That's a lot of logistical costs and all that. And in return, we are quite visible in that our programs are well organized, they are well packaged, and they are well covered, because we have a good relationship with the media. So these are points that we want to put across to investors, so that when we sit down with them in the next 1-2 months, they can say, okay, let us try these guys out and see what the way forward is. Because, I mean, look at wrestling, for instance. Igali is doing very well,
Okay.
you know,
Yeah.
and now he has the backing of the state that has financial muscle.
Yes.
So when finance meets knowledge, a lot of things move forward. So when you look at it, you need the physical resources of course, which is finances, the infrastructure and all that. And of course, you need the mental resources, which is the attitudes, the being bullish in such a system and all that. And of course, you need the knowledge, you know. So if wrestling is doing very well, it's because these three things have come together. So now for Taekwondo, we do have the attitudes, we have the knowledge, we've shown it repeatedly. I don't think any federation has done 12 national programs in 7 months, you know, fully accounted for with reports and all that. And what we need now is real investment, because our internally generated fund is not enough to carry us. And this is where we are hoping that corporate Nigeria, of course, with the government, can come together and support a very vibrant federation.
I thought the world body usually gives subventions to their member countries.
Not for Taekwondo. I think for Taekwondo, yearly, I think there's a allowance for, I think, $10,000 or something, but not cash, in kind equipment.
Okay.
So if, for instance, you want to go to a world championship, they can say, okay, we'll help you sponsor two people, you apply for the funding and all that. So it's not enough. I know federations, maybe like basketball or cricket or football, might have a much bigger cost. And for me, that's our reality. I don't think we're elected into the board, because I hear a lot of people complaining, oh, the government doesn't give them money, they don't do this. And frankly, I'm not of that frame of mind. I feel that before you came onto the board, you knew this was the situation. So, and I'll give you an example. A few weeks ago, we were meant to be in Tunisia for the Junior World Championships,
Okay.
and we applied for funding from the government. And they had pressure of Commonwealth, they had all these other pressures. So long and short, we didn't go. And I was disappointed they didn't go, but I didn't say, oh, we have to blame them for it. No, I just felt as a federation, we should also start looking for that sources. And after doing 12 programs in 7 months, we just couldn't afford to push through the trip to Tunisia, because we pushed through the trip to Morocco, which was like within 1 week. So we supported some of the people that went. And this is why it is very important to try and get corporate Nigeria to back us up, because we could triple the effect of what we're having now. And the dream is that before we leave, we have a structure. So we've already started compiling the database. So you can imagine that we've never had a database. We just knew that we were tens of hundreds in each state, and our members were in thousands, because anytime we come, we see them. But no one ever thought it important to start documenting names, photographs, the clubs and all that. So it's a process that might take us the next 2-3 years, but it's the process we have started. Because when you have your database, when you can show your numbers, even for the sake of internally generated funding, people paying dues, giving services to your database, these are very important. So there's a lot to be done, and this is why when you have the investment, you can properly do it. The IT network needed. Many of the states are struggling.
Okay.
So yes, I know I'm just flowing in between different issues, but I guess this is how it's meant to flow. For instance, I'll give you an instance. I feel that if the state sport associations are not strong enough, federations will never be strong enough. It just has to come from grassroots. It just has to come from people going to schools to teach, discovering them, building them up at that level. So you have states, I'm talking of Taekwondo now, you have state associations that can't even pay the annual dues.
Wow.
You know, many don't have a chairman, you know, or a vibrant secretary. So it's difficult for the federation to really know what's going on in each state. So it depends on the people who you know there, you call them and ask them for information. But it's not good enough. So if we can successfully build that structure, where we strengthen their administrative structures, we teach them how to gather their data, how to do programs within themselves, and maybe interstate in the region, then the federation will benefit. So a state like Lagos is very vibrant. You have people always doing programs, you know. You have Edo that is it's vibrant. You have Kebbi, you have the FCT. And I want these to apply in all the 37 states. And that information system where they can send back to us the activities, the athletes they are discovering. For instance, I remember during the coaching course, we always tell them that this is the kind of athletes we want. Okay. In Taekwondo now, height is very important. Okay. So basketball, handball, they should be careful because if we see the athletes, we'll take them. You know, it's easy for us to easily convert them within 2-3 years to win medals. Okay. Like in the case of the current African champion, Usamako Tuadema.
In Nigeria?
Yes, she's the current African champion. She started Taekwondo in 2012. And by 2015, she was African champion. Wow. So the turnaround time could be very fast for Taekwondo, you know. But if the states do not send us this information, that look guys, we have this girl or this boy who is this height, you know, and they're interested, what do we do with them? How do we work together?
Is it always easier working with the female athletes than the male athletes?
They go through the same process. Okay. When you get an athlete, you first take the statistics to know what they lack. They are the components of fitness: speed, power, flexibility, endurance, and all that. So you first take tests to measure these attributes. And across everybody is different. You might get someone that has very good flexibility, but the power is not good enough.
Which of the three could you say in your own,
for male and female,
that you think is more important than the other?
As a fitness component?
Yes.
They are all very important.
But which first two would you rather have an
for
athlete have than?
I would speed. I always go for speed because I feel that you cannot beat what you can't touch. So as an athlete, I always went for speed. But you see, for you to have speed, for example, if you are that's why in space, they will say something, it might go so fast that it will just degenerate, it will just, yeah. So your body has to be strong enough to withstand speed. So it has to be powerful. So they are all quite linked. You can't isolate it and say, I will just be fast. I'll give you another example with power. You can deliver a lot of power with a stick, and the stick will break because the stick is not strong. Okay. But if you use an iron rod and hit it, the iron rod will not break because it's strong. So if I just do like this, I'm not delivering a lot of power. But if I do, then I'm delivering a lot of power. So for the athlete, you want the legs, the hands to be strong. You want it to be flexible because when it's not flexible, it can break. Okay. So you want it to be like this tension wire, you know? So it's like koboko. So when they kick somebody or they punch somebody, then they will be in danger. So when we develop athletes, that's how we look at it. And males and females are just different.
And what was your own strength in terms of the component? Which of them came first, second, third for you?
I think my strength has always been mental. I had the ability to analyze in the ring.
Okay, that's your opponent.
Yes. So as I fight, I always keep reassessing my moves in the ring. Some athletes don't have the ability. They depend on the coach to do it. So that's why having a good coach is very important. He reads the fight. He says, oh, go back this distance, use this technique or that. But I had the ability to do it and to remain very calm. So most time when I was competing, when I come back, I and my coach have a discussion, in that 1 minute of, what did you say? How should we do it? And when I'm fighting, like if I go back, And the coach said, okay, throw this particular kick. And I went back and I saw that the opponent received an instruction, obviously. An instruction he received does not match the instruction I received.
Okay.
So at that moment, I could change my strategy. So I think for me when I was competing, that has always been my strength, the ability to analyze and to find a solution.
And which would you say was your toughest fight ever?
When I met Modibo was a two-time world champion. When I beat him at the Olympics, because in my career I've actually beat two world champions when they were world champions.
Wow.
So when I met Modibo
is from where?
He was from Mali.
From Mali.
So he was the first from Africa to win this. So it's someone Africa that I'm very proud of. And he inspired quite a lot of other Africans that followed him. Like Cisse now has an Olympic medal. I have Ruth Gabi, who's world champion. You have Antonio Bame from Gabon. So he inspired quite a lot of them. And I would say it was toughest mentally because at that time I was the current African champion.
Wow.
And he was the current world champion. And in my thinking, I said I'm the champion of Africa. I have this guy from Mali, so I have to beat him. You know? So mentally it was very tough because we had never met before then. You know, and he was 6'8". He was 6'8". I'm 6'3".
Okay.
So it was this giant, and my heart was beating so far. So it was very emotional. And I remember after the fight, I was so emotional that I think tears came out from my eyes. So I won. It was not tears of joy. It was just the emotion of holding back, and I had thought about the fight so much and all. You know. So, but throughout your career, you get those moments. You know, and it's been very good.
All right, let's just wrap up the conversation and just let you know what the future holds for Taekwondo and for the youths, the kids that are coming up. Are you impressed with the quality you're getting in terms of the heights, the components, speed, power? Do you think you're seeing those characteristics in the kids you're seeing?
Yes, I see talent, but I think what kills is poverty.
Wow.
Sometimes the coaches, a coach is a lot of things. You are the father or the mother, you are the confidant, you are the friend, you are the organizer. You have to be a lot of things. But if you can't sort out your own self, pay your own bills, your light bills and all that, it's difficult for you to mentor someone coming up. So what I would like to see is for us to build a system that makes Taekwondo very profitable. So for example, if you have a league, people are paid well. Across the countries, I like to see more schools hire more Taekwondo coaches and pay them well. The athletes, their welfare, their allowances, their salaries is very robust. What this will help us do is that when people do not think about where the next meal will come from, or think about rent, school fees, then they can focus better on the training. So if we can improve the quality of coaches, and then develop a system that ensures there's wealth within the Taekwondo community, then I think that we'll be in a very good place. And I always say this, that for instance, I think tomorrow I'm leaving for Morocco to join the team actually. I do not have any expectations that they must win. Because I realize development is more important than all these medals. When you develop the infrastructure and the people, then the medals will come as a byproduct. And this is what I really love the Federation to achieve over the years. It might not be completed in this dispensation, it might be in the next. But if we build the infrastructure, build the people, and ensure that there's wealth in the system. So for example, if corporate Nigeria comes on board, don't steal the money. Don't put in your pocket. Build taekwondo gyms they can see. Hire and train coaches that people can see. And you find out that there will be more confidence in your federation and they'll keep pumping in funding once they see you using it. Then, consequently, you're going to start building athletes who are winning medals. Then corporate Nigeria will have people that can say, okay, I want these people to promote my brand. And it's now become a vicious circle. You just have to win. Assemble to Federal, Williams, so people only like winners. And we have to put in that investment now, so that in a few years we can get consistent winners. So it's not enough that once upon a time there was Emmanuel Peters, then Nigeria waited 20 years, then Chika Chukwumerju now came, and maybe he was very good for 15 years. Then we won't hear anything for another 20 years. The best thing we can do is to build a sustainable system so that as this one is competing at any point in time, we should have 5, 6, 7 known taekwondo players that are sure will deliver medal.
All right, on that very instructive note, I will call this conversation a wrap. I want to say a big thank you to Commonwealth, Olympics, and African Championship medalist in the person of Chika Chukwumerju, who currently is the technical director of the Nigerian Taekwondo Federation. Thank you very much, and wishing you all the best as you go to Morocco.
Thank you so much.
All right, we'll go for a quick break. When we come back from this break, the break continues.
Thinking of live television on the go? Think no more. Television Nigerian has got you covered, no matter your age, your education, language, tribe, or religion. Whether it is in your car, your office, or any other place of your choice, you can depend on Television Nigerian anytime, any day, and anywhere. We are online 24/7. You can catch the latest news, politics, sports, and entertainment via your mobile phone, your tablet, or any other device at no extra data charges or costs, just like our Facebook page, Television Nigerian. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, Television Nigerian, and also follow us on Twitter and Instagram at TV Nigerian to enjoy all that television can offer. Television Nigerian, broadcast beyond boundaries.
Welcome to Living Treasures Academy. Enjoy a conducive and serene learning environment. Qualified and experienced teachers. Equipped computer laboratory and library. Secured atmosphere. Extracurricular activities. An all-embracing curriculum for total development of the child. Comprehensive education for leadership. Join us today from crèche to secondary levels. Living Treasures Academy, committed to excellence. For almost a decade, the Nigerian army have given their all to ensure that our dear country is not overrun by Boko Haram insurgents. Some have in the process paid the ultimate price, while many will forever live with indelible scars occasioned by their determination to protect the country, no matter the hurdle. Despite these, they have remained resolute and undaunted, and today, all territories the insurgents once took control of have been recaptured and normalcy restored. And now, for the first time in a long time, the end of Boko Haram is foreseeable. Therefore, the wisest thing for the remaining insurgents to do is to surrender today or face total destruction from the army. Remember, the Nigerian army will stop at nothing to ensure that total peace is restored in all parts of the country. So, be wise and embrace peace today or get ready to be ruthlessly dealt with. This message is brought to you by the Coalition on Conflict Resolution and Human Rights in Nigeria.
30,000 for 6,000 jobs, and a firm probes Houdin production on page 9. But let's look at please beginning screen of 130,000 persons for 6,000 job slots. For you, are you impressed with the quickness of the screening already started? Without probably getting people applying. At this end, the people have applied, 130 had applied from the day Mr. President said it's barely 3 days in between.
Oh, well, that goes a long way to show us what is really happening in Nigeria. Well, sometimes when some of these things are being said, people just feel, a lot of people just feel that you're speaking in other languages. This was just discussed, was it not yesterday or so? And then already we are having 130 people that are going to be undergoing screening.
130,000.
30,000 people undergoing. And the question now starts from, how did they apply for these things? Where were they selected? Because before now we never heard of anything like that. How or did they have people? Did they inform people on the ground? You know,
even before the president decided.
One person is bringing 5,000 candidates. One person is bringing. How did it happen? And so, but well, it's like having enough hands in the police force. It's never too much. 6,000 to be added is not a bad idea. But the thing is, they are already beginning to make this mistake. What are the criteria to get these 130 people first to start undergoing the screening? Because the screening is normally meant to be like the last slab of it, where the 6,000 will be selected. So what are the criteria that they even got the 130 in the first place? Now, for them to even have the 130 that will now be screened, that means they had a higher number before the 130. So where did that all happen?
All right, we've not really had any public announcement by the Nigerian police to say these are the portals or website where you can go and apply.
There was something like that.
Aside the 10,000 that was earlier recruited when this administration took office, or are they telling us this is the leftover from the 10,000 they recruited earlier on? That's a very interesting story. We'll be putting our fingers crossed and watching keenly what the Nigerian police is trying to do. I beg, it needs very serious background checks before this person's recruited into the Nigerian police. Let's look at presidency hit on Obasanjo over Buhari's visit to the US. This back and forth between Obasanjo and Buhari, is it good for our democracy?
Well, it is, in as much as it's not good, but of course we know we have a presidency where they always like to respond to things. That's what we see happening here. When you have a presidency that always wants to respond to things, I do not think that you should you should respond to every single thing that comes out. Yes, we know that former President Obasanjo is make some very good points and say some things that some people may not really want to agree with. Some might agree, but you don't have to respond to every single thing that he says. You don't have to. You don't have to try to explain yourself. You don't have to try to give him reasons as to why he should change his mind about your governance style or your administration. All you have to do is just to like what the people on the street will say, show workings. All you have to do is show workings. You don't have to want to respond back and forth every time. So I think that Mr. President should just focus on the task he has ahead. The president should just focus on how to make sure that everything goes away for the Nigerian people and not responding or trying to hit back at a person. All of these things do not go well with our democracy. It doesn't take us anywhere. It doesn't reduce the price of things at the market.
All right, your charismatic Dino Melai remanded in police custody. Page 6, that big story. How do you see that event that played out?
I heard the story yesterday afternoon when
he was arraigned before the magistrate court in Lokoja. And
the whole decision was made. But I really think that it's not going to last. It's not going to last. It's just going to be for some.
But 38 days in custody is not very interesting.
You and I know very well that the way when the normal Nigerian is in custody
and when an elite is
in custody, of course you know
so he's not going to be with the boys either.
You and I know that would not really be the case, of course. But the thing is that whatever it is that is going on, we just, they're making it so obvious to the Nigerian people that there's a whole lot more.
Conspiracy. You believe there's a conspiracy here?
Well, even if I do not believe the conspiracy, it is what is being presented. When you look at all of the evidences before you critically, when you follow the story here, you go in depth and you see certain things, you discover that there's more than what is being said to us. Now, you can't just, first of all, the report process was a failure, and now you're looking for other ways to see how you can and get this man. What is the main offense? Let us get to understand what is the main offense of this person.
Gun running and other issues that was raised.
Attempted murder,
suicide.
The attempted suicide, the gun. But
running,
why don't you?
The police vehicle.
Okay, apart from the damage of the police vehicle, which we can say, okay, yes, we can actually wait because we could see that. Others, where are the evidence? I thought that we were supposed to be dealing with evidence here.
The evidence was the couples that were caught who confessed to him being their financier and who gave them the guns. Then they escaped from the Nigerian police and they recaptured some persons who they said were the same persons which we not verified, and that's where we are.
Now let it not be like we are having a debate here.
Okay.
But the thing is, somebody
I'm just
said
playing the cards of what the Nigerian police said.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Now somebody said this. This person came out to say this. Now, how did you know? This is Nigeria. Anything happens. In fact, in the world in which we live in, anything can happen. There is nothing money cannot do. If I give you a certain amount of money, you can say things even, and you will look me in the eye and say, "This cup is pink."
Okay, I wish I wouldn't say that.
No. I'm just saying there is nothing money cannot do. Now, the other day when we had our in-house analyst, and he said something. He said there is nothing more. Give him 1 million naira, and he can even sell you off.
Okay.
Do you understand? So that is to show you that these people when they had the jailbreak, the people who escaped, how are they sure
that it was the same persons that were recaptured?
Do you understand? Now we do not have we have not put structures in place to check all of these things, and so they just come out and give us certain stories, give us headlines, give us this. And
well, we'll get to see if Dino is going to have a visitor while he's in custody. Probably the governor of the state might be kind enough to say, okay, let me go see our senator representing us.
I would wish he doesn't go there.
Okay, we're going to find out in the coming days. All right, those are the big stories on the nation's newspaper. Let's get to review the Daily Sun.
All right, so the Daily Sun this morning, bloodbath continues in Adamawa, 30 killed, 10 died in Taraba auto crash. You will find out stories on for page 4 and of course page 6. Federal government will arrest more looters. This is coming from Oshibado, and that's Vice President, and that is on page 10. Wike wishes Rivers APC Peaceful Congress urges members to be law-abiding. That is on page 40. Court remands Lion Police custody, and APC Congress Pugo calls for peaceful conduct. Lord Kalu. That is on page 39. Sorry. And then we have insecurity. Southern Middle Belt leaders call for national emergency, insist on restructuring. You will find that story on page 6. And behind we have something you definitely want to read: significance of Oba Ewore visit to Ariola Odudua. And the Eagles must be fearless in Russia to make impact. That is coming from Yobo. All right, so let's talk about Wike. I saw something yesterday. Wike said, I forgotten the dailies where it was a headline, and he said if he was ever going to be arrested, something related to that Nigeria there's going to be a problem in Nigeria.
All right, that's we're always talking tough, but I think those statements are inciting, and if we want to bring into the picture the fact that the federal government has said hate speech would be tackled fiercely, we hope that the governors of the various states
Is that hate speech?
Technically, it falls on hate speech, because what he's trying to do is to incite the people that, if anything, he should be arrested. Probably if he also breaks the laws of the land, which nobody is above. Yes, we understand he's a governor, so immunity might cover him, but at the same time, there's some kind of, if you commit treasonable offenses, at that point, that immunity might just be, yanked off and you're picked up. So I think his comments should be watched so that we do not continue hate speech, because we know what it cost a country like Rwanda in 1994. It was terrible and it took them a lot of time to recover. And Nigeria, we don't want to experience such hate speech.
All right, do you have a subject? The federal government will arrest more looters. This is coming from Oshibanjo. What is perhaps prompting all of this?
I think technically the APC are trying to pull all stops just to have that edge and cover any of the opposition parties who will be trying to contest with them in 2019. Because when they say all looters are going to be arrested and all that, definitely those PDP faithfuls who were alleged to have looted the treasury will be technically peeing in their pants and will be very reluctant to spend the money, especially when the campaign, ban on campaign is going to be lifted soon. It means political parties are going to start campaigning. They'll be very skeptical about releasing this money, and
no, but the APC too, also have looters over there too. So
yeah, they do, but the truth is that they still have, they're in charge of everything playing out. Like you could see what was happening to Senator Dino Melai. Obviously, if he was in the good books of the executive, I don't think he would have gone this far. Okay, so it's politics for you, and I think Oshiman is technically trying to remind them that you still got the ace.
Well, I think that Mr. Vice President should review some of these statements that he makes.
Well, he's fighting for his own party, technically. All right, so let's look at the other big stories from the Punch newspaper. We've got Buhari returns to Nigeria. PFN gives president 1 month deadline on killings. Page 10 and 12 is a final big story. We've got court to remand Senalaye in police custody till June 11th. And 2019 polls, we've got INEC bars parties without offices, releases a report on underage voting today. So watching INEC closely today to see what the report says about underage voting, if it's going to indict the note of actually practicing underage voting in the last election, so that we can all be very watchful. And we've got Nigeria signs a $2.5 billion currency swap deal with China. That big story is on page 25. We've got South Middle Belt leaders to NAS, restructure, save Nigeria, elder statesmen, backhoes recording, berate Buhari security chiefs over killings. 10 died and 20 injured in Taraba tanker fire. Very sad story on page 4 and 5, the paper story on the Punch newspaper. We've got 3 killed as a hoodlums clash in Ibadan. That story is on page 4 of the Punch newspaper. And a very sad story, but women still having upper hands here. We've got Lagos lawyer kills husband, cuts off private parts, and 4-5. I think this trend is continuing from 2017, but really scary. The men, you have to watch out. We've got a $496 million aircraft. Senate panel fails to present probe report, and page 17 is where you find this story.
Well, I wanted to say something on the Lagos lawyer that
kills husband, cut off private parts.
In as much as I find that caption really, really disturbing, the original story is the woman stabbed her husband to death and also wanted to kill herself. That's it happened in Lagos, one of those estates in Lagos yesterday. It happened about 10 p.m. day before yesterday, but the news broke out yesterday. What happened was that, according to the source, said they had issues of the man was married before.
Okay.
Yes, he had a wife before, and he had a child. He had a child from the other marriage. So he married this lady. And they don't have any child yet, both of them. And so the woman wanted every of his property to be willed to her. And the man said no.
This man wanted
the woman wanted the man to will, everything should be willed to her, since she's the wife right now.
Okay.
And the man said no. So they were, because I feel that it is even too early to start discussing will right now, because nobody's planning to die. But so because of they had that argument, and the man said no, the disagreement said no. After all, I have a child.
Yeah.
I cannot will everything to you. You don't have a child yet, because from all indications, it's not really a matter that takes for so long.
Okay.
And so in the heat of the argument and the disagreement, So she stabbed the man, and the man died, and she wanted to also kill herself. So, but unluckily for her, she stabbed herself, but she did not die completely. So she was rushed to hospital where she gained consciousness. So she was stabilized. So she's alive. I don't know if she died subsequently, but for now she's alive. Probably she will now start seeing the reality of everything, because now she's alive, she will face.
I think this trend has to be stopped. I don't know how we're going to do it, but the women that are becoming killer women these days are very scary. All right, let's just get the views on INEC buying parties without offices. Do you think this is a technical witch hunt by INEC on behalf of the federal government?
Buying parties without offices. Well, actually,
because they registered these parties, didn't they do?
But they didn't have offices
to confirm if they had offices, if they met certain criteria before registering them. How come it's now that it's pre-election year?
Well, the thing is, it is. I find it really unbelievable to say that INEC will, are promoting parties and they don't have offices, because definitely, like you said, all of these things will be checked. You need to know what these people are meeting. You need to know the whole structure and everything. And before you give them the whole card and everything, that you are now a political party. So I think that if Nigerians want to know more about this particular case, you need to go and get the Punch newspaper to know the more details, because I find it really hard to believe that parties would have offices, even no matter how small no matter how, even if it is one self-contained, even if it's half a contained, whatever it is, there just have to be a place where they meet. So that place they meet is their office.
All right, let's look at the Vanguard newspaper.
All right, the Vanguard this morning: insecurity restructuring. Senate, I will revisit devolution of powers. This is coming from Sankey, and the rider Southern Middle Belt leaders at National Assembly say Nigerian torturing on edge. Our Nigerian system that's functioning. Call for national emergency. Restate call for true federalism. Information of 2014 confab report. And the court refuses Melaye bill, remands him in police custody. And the writer here says nothing should happen to him. This is coming from Dugara. An arraignment on stretcher unacceptable. This is coming from Falana. You find the stories on page 8 and page 10. We will pass 2018 budget on Tuesday. This is coming from the reps, and you'll find that on page 9. Nigeria, China seal a $2.4 billion currency swap deal. This is on page 19. And on the board press freedom, the minister attacks media on fair reporting. That is on page 14. A whole lot of stories are on the Vanguard on page 14. Also, we will conduct mock election of Buhari, Atiku, others. This is coming from the Northern News. And both mishap, family of 14 others die in Akwa Ibom. And lawyers, Lagos lawyer stabs husband to death, chops off his man. I wonder why they keep adding that.
It's part of the deal.
Did that really? All right, so 13 killed in Zamfara, fresh attack, 15 feared dead in Adamawa. That is on page 6. You will find all of this interesting story. And then behind we have the Vanguard Sports. It will be target world-class performance in Russia. Mourinho benches Bailey because Cote d'Ivoire not at World Cup. England, Nigeria friendly, not a walk in the park. High Commissioner. And the who have been racially abused in Russia.
These are the stories on the Vanguard
This morning. And get a copy of Vanguard. And then something on codeine drugs femme sacks worker shown in BBC documentary.
Right, sad commentary there. Alright, let's look at the sporting life, the big sports stories there. We've got Salah says yes to Real Madrid move, and PSG to bid 100 million euros for Eriksen, and Atletico join Valencia in race for Mata. Talking about Manchester United attacker there. We've got Bayern bid 88 million euros for Dybala, and Chelsea to reject PSG bid for Kante. And we've got it's more than a game. Arkwright and Pinnick speak with regards to Nigeria versus England's cracker that is coming up. That's you find on page 5 of the Sporting Life. We've got Anderlecht to extend to Yekuruza loan. And my dream as a kid, Iwobi says, I am prepared for Russia 2018 World Cup. Balogun here to train with might is on page 4. And we've got Brighton versus Manchester United tonight by 8 p.m. Lukaku is out of that game. And then we've got a final, not me versus Ronaldo, says Mo Salah, the Egyptian wonder guy who has been scoring with so much recklessness this season. Those are the big stories making the round on the Sporting Life. Go out there, get a copy, and find out more details of how set the Super Eagles are getting for Russia 2018.
All right, the last paper here, Daily Trust. Go on once against impeaching Buhari. That is on page 3. CBN signs $2.5 billion currency swap deal with China. That is on page 17. Malaya denied bail to spend 38 days in police custody. That is on page 4. 43 persons killed in Adamawa, Zamfara. You'll find that story continues on page 5 of the Daily Trust. On page 30, we have the lawyer case. This headline here is something else. Lawyer cuts husband's intestine and then it out.
She's quite, she's a surgeon.
I thought she was a lawyer. All right, Buhari returns to Abuja after US trip. You will find that on page 5 and on page 3. Reps to pass 2018 budget next week. I would say that we should journalists be fair. Should be fair sometimes.
They're being real. They're saying it as it is. There's no need of sugar coating it.
Last time?
Yeah, it's probably that was the part the press man saw when he got to the scene of the crime.
Are you operating someone?
Right now we know lawyers have skills aside from the fact that most times they're being criticized for being good at saying a lie or changing this
now
situation.
They are very good operators.
Yes, surgeons. Right, today, the big stories on the national papers are very interesting today, and one of the key things we'll be looking at for today is the fact that INEC would be releasing the underage voting report, so we'll get to see which states will be indicted for doing that in the last general elections, and we'll see what INEC will be looking forward to put as a stopgap for it not to repeat itself come 2019 elections. All right, we'll be going for a quick break. When we come back, Africa's finest breakfast show, Daybreak Nigeria, on television Nigeria, will continue.
Of live television on the go? Think no more. Television Nigerian has got you covered, no matter your age, your education, language, tribe, or religion. Whether it is in your car, your office, or any other place of your choice, you can depend on Television Nigerian anytime, any day, and anywhere. We are online 24/7. You can catch the latest news, politics, sports, and entertainment via your mobile phone, your tablet, or any other device at no extra data charges or costs, just like our Facebook page, Television Nigerian. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, Television Nigerian, and also follow us on Twitter and Instagram at TV Nigerian to enjoy all that television can offer. Television Nigerian, broadcast beyond boundaries.
Welcome to Living Treasures Academy. Enjoy a conducive and serene learning environment. Qualified and experienced teachers. Equipped computer laboratory and library. Secured atmosphere. Extracurricular activities. An all-embracing curriculum for total development of the child. Comprehensive education for leadership. Join us today from crèche to secondary levels. Living Treasures Academy, committed to excellence. For almost a decade, the Nigerian army have given their all to ensure that our dear country is not overrun by Boko Haram insurgents. Some have in the process paid the ultimate price, while many will forever live with indelible scars occasioned by their determination to protect the country, no matter the hell. Despite these, they have remained resolute and undaunted, and today, all territories the insurgents once took control of have been recaptured and normalcy restored. And now, for the first time in a long time, the end of Boko Haram is foreseeable. Therefore, the wisest thing for the remaining insurgents to do is to surrender today or face total destruction from the army. Remember, the Nigerian army will stop at nothing to ensure that total peace is restored in all parts of the country. So, be wise and embrace peace today or get ready to be ruthlessly dealt with. This
Полуфинал Лиги Европы. Атлетико успешно играл в Лиге Чемпионов и дважды выходил в финал. Также был в финале, но и там его подстерегала неудача. Стадион Ванда Метрополитан, новая арена. Не но при этом состав Атлетико, конечно, с вами уже здесь выглядит. Мы стали уже привыкать, и мне кажется, сейчас у футболистов не очень колоритно, и мне кажется, что внушить еще более такие серьезные. И подача в самое сердце вратарской площади летит мяч. Это всегда опасно, даже если удар не произведен. Тем не менее, там такая в арсенале Арсен Венгер. Что владеть, конечно, команда Атлетико шикарно играет дома, и вообще команда крайне пять их игру. Вчера изучили Салаха. Сегодня головой играет спина. Опасный эпизодный мяч. Улики Арсенал прилично насытил, и поэтому драму мы видим в стартовые минуты этого матча. Подача, все проскакивают мимо, подбор нужен. Ого, сейчас может что-то случиться. Диего Коста, он штрафной, может забивать. Удар! Был абсолютно бессилен во всех отношениях, он просто не готов был бороться с Костой. Нарушение прав из тех футболистов, кто, в общем, запредельно очередь заменного фланге, поэтому вряд ли просто подвернул ногу. Но реакция не в принципе Арсенала. Но то, что мы сегодня повреждение, и его подача Сауля хорошая на ближнюю штангу. Пытается мяч попередавать своим игрокам. Опасный момент, не попал. Подбор, можно пробить издали. Нет, еще один пас. И это попытка атаку. Коста пробьет. Нет, у Косты мяч. Пас на Арсенал, выход один. По сути, этот ворота, атака продолжается. Озил, пострел. Икс направо, Белин. Как же играет Арсенал. Арсенал разыграть свой эфир. Аж 10 поражений потерпел на выезде. Бросает далеко Лукас Эрнандес. Тут не разбери. И в этой роли он подает за пределы штрафной. Удар касания. Опасно было. МЗ Начо не принял мяч и тут же подарил шанс обороне. Придумал защитник, который пришел сюда на аут. Любопытно. Атака продолжается. Подача. Надежный Габи. Подача на дальнюю штангу. Жака. Гризман бьет поворотом и снова. Мяч штрафной. Не успеет Аарон Рэмзи. Самый результативный в Еврокубках футболист Арсенала. Не смог мяч. Витало на левом фланге. Он уже в штрафной и подать. Все пропустить. В эти минуты подача. Играем надежно Уэлбек. Удар по воротам. Получаем мяч. Здесь опасный момент. Удар. 1-0. Гризман находит Косту. Белерин просто забыл про то, что тайм еще. Француз. На дальнюю штангу. Абсолютно один Коста. Нужно Начо. Но это так уже на издыхание атакой. Точнее нужно. Но возглавляет прорыв. Соревнование в скорости. Здесь Джака Перри. Атака снова. По левому флангу. Коги, удар по воротам. Озил. Передача роскошна. Коста. Вот в этом моменте, как начал Монреаля. Подача. Но сразу момент возникает. Еще один прострел. Лучшера, конечно же. Подача. Озил. Они тут на фланг. Коста тем временем убирал двух соперников.
Коста с мячом. Коста дожидается партнер, нет, сам. Дальше штрафную. Великолепный розыгрыш мяча последнего. Но не исключено, но надо что-то делать. Без гола Арсенал дальше не пойдет. Ни в коем случае. Как техничный игрок Коста! Удар! И это должен быть гол. Есть Белерин, но штрафной прострел! И опять нога защиты. Момент, а это, собственно, подача! Коста! Коста сам пошел на троих. Коста прострел! Поле мяч.
Alright, welcome back. You're still watching Africa's Finest Breakfast Show. It's called Daybreak Nigeria on television Nigeria. Right here, we've got a guest in the studio. He's Collins Ajibola. He's a sports journalist and also. Alright, let's just look at what happened last night. We had Arsene Wenger, after 22 years, exiting the Emirates, but in such a very sad style. Were you disappointed the way Arsenal got bundled out of the Europa Cup, or you expected that to happen?
I think it was. I think it's a disastrous end for Arsene Wenger because everybody thought that this was going to be a golden opportunity for him to just exit on a high note, but he blew the chances. It's not. It's beyond Arsene Wenger.
Can we hold it for the players?
It's just what I said. It's beyond Arsene Wenger because I think what Arsenal lack now is that leadership quality. Nobody there is actually taking that leadership responsibility. You can't really point to Jack Wilshere to say lead Arsenal, and Ozil does not have that leadership prowess in him. So I think it's beyond Arsene Wenger. Even if a new coach comes on board, he still has to do that overhauling of the whole team to get positive results.
All right, let's come back to Nigeria. Looking at the Super Eagles team, we have a lot of players, injury worries, those that do not have are not in good form. Is this going to make the task a little bit more difficult for Gennaro as he picks his professional team for the World Cup?
I think for now we should not deceive ourselves. The Super Eagles have no team at all, and
even with the wins they had during the friendlies.
I think it's a fluke. That win over Argentina that has no mercy, for me, it's a fluke.
Yes, against Poland, they beat Poland.
Yeah, they beat Poland, but you have to look at it. What was the technical approach of Gennaro, and how were the players able to play to his instructions, and do we really have a pattern going into the Mundial in Russia? I think for now it's just a 50-50 chance for the Super Eagles, because take it or leave it, that group we are is a group of deaths. It's a group of deaths, and now we have injuries still piling up. Indeed, just joined the list. We have Balogun there, Kalikeme already out, which is worse for our department. We don't have a goalkeeper, so I think it's.
Francis Ozoho.
Ozoho is not World Cup. Is not FA Cup. Is not championship. Is not playing Eimba. World Cup is where you meet those who is who in football, and there is no experiment stage. You just go there, do your work, get the trophy, or you just watch the beautiful atmosphere of Russia and come back home.
All right, but looking at this friendly against England, which is coming up very soon, already Pinnick and Atwork writer has said that game is more than just a friendly between England and Nigeria. Do you see it from that light, and how desperate will the Super Eagles want victory against the Three Lions?
I think a victory over the Three Lions will not be will not measure the fact that we are prepared for the World Cup, because if it's for a commercial game, yes, I think I will agree, because the Three Lions on their own, they are a commercial brand. So I think the Super Eagles would have been looking like a team, say the Brazilians, the Colombians, the Mexicos, and the Croatians, or even their neighbors to play with. There is nothing bad you playing even your opponent. We play Argentina before the World Cup draw. So you can always play your opponent in the World Cup before the draw. You play their neighbor. I think the Manjo Pinnick led technical board, even though there is the Lagos scuffle surrounding them, have a lot to do if we are not going to Russia to go and watch their beaches.
Yeah, you made mention of the court case, NFF, the legal tussle. Do you think it's going to affect the chances of the Super Eagles and the concentration of the NFF?
Absolutely, there is no doubt about that, and there is no overemphasizing the fact that in this country everybody is all about selfish interest and what you could get. In as much as we know very well that by every provision the Amadi-Pinnick-led board is occupying that place illegally. Yes, Giwa has the right to go to court and
the timing wasn't that not?
But justice delayed is justice denied. You can pursue justice as long as you have the financial muscle in Nigeria, which is the bit of it.
All right. Okay.
I just wanted to, when you talk about the statement that was made by General, where he said that there will be no prostitutes allowed at the camp.
He definitely, but he has said that the players can come with their girlfriends, their wives, and what have you. So I think it's actually a right statement saying that because we're not, it's not a club. We are not going for party. We want to go and lift that trophy that has been eluding African countries for the past since its inception. So for him saying that it's just a statement, though there are some players who definitely break the camp rule, but he should concentrate on getting a good team now. Leave the prostitutes out of your plan.
All right. Still talking about General, he was accused some weeks back as regards agents, being agents to some players, and he came out saying he didn't ask any player to sign any pre-contract. For that kind of issue popping up, does that scare you? What might be for the Super Eagles in Russia?
For him coming out to say he doesn't have a team after over a year in the saddle of affair, I think he's already pointing to us that look, if at the end of the day we know win, I don't tell you beforehand. So he's just telling us, in Nigeria prophecy works. So he's just throwing into that line of prophecy to say, I said it before, so don't blame me when it's eventually happens.
Is that good enough for a World Cup coach or a coach that's
that is the issue, Anthony, because if somebody who is employed to say, do this work for us, take this cup away from this place, and you are telling us you are a cripple. We already know you have hand. Take this cup from this place to this place, and you are telling us you are a cripple. When we see both hands attached to your body. So I think he's just telling us, he knows very well that the task ahead of him is an uphill task. Because the mandate is take us beyond the quarterfinals. And he knows let's not deceive ourselves. Who? Kelechi Iheanacho. Mikel Obi playing in Tangi. You can't compare, yes, you can get all what you have. You can't compare the Chinese league and other top flight European league. And now look at those who are going to the World Cup. They are coming from leagues that are very vibrant. And they know what they are going for. You can't pinpoint a Super Eagles starting 11 now, where you have teams like Germany, France, having 3 good first 11. Let's just prepare with our camera to go and snap in Russia.
So, in your estimations, if the Super Eagles go to Russia, you don't expect them to even get into the groups, out of the group stages or into the knockout stages. Is that your prediction?
Anthony, it will be a very dicey one. It will be a very dicey one because now ask yourself, like I said, look at Modric in Real Madrid. Who would stop him?
We've gotten Didi, who is also a very
but he's injured. And now let me tell you why Ndidi is one player. If I am Benetro, I'll build my team around. Okay. But now let's look at it. Ndidi is injured. Okay. Leicester will not play him again. Nadi is injured. Okay. Leo Balogun is injured. Do we have a top 9 that will give us these goals? None. Now we are considering bringing an Obafemi Martins. He's over 50 years old. Let me tell you, the bane of our problem is the fact that we overlook grassroots development in this country. How did Germany get first 11, second 11, third 11 that equal match? They take their grassroots development very, very important as a priority. But here, no. When last you play the youth competition?
Okay.
You can't say that. And that is why we tell the federal government, most especially, don't make sport ministry a job for the boss. Being a technocrat who knows how to do what is demanded of sport, that you are being somebody who wears beret. It's not ministry a Boy Scout.
All right. But that's so indirectly you're saying there's no hope for Nigeria come Russia 2018.
Anthony, we won't deceive ourselves. If we go beyond what we expect, then it's miracle. We know we trust God very well in this country. We are only the football playing show that trust in God. Others will believe this trust in the devil.
All right, on that very explosive note, we'll close a wrap and discuss. It's been awesome having Colin Sajiba. You just blew away. This is like deflating the hopes of Nigerians as regards Russia 2018. But as Nigerians, we are always very resilient. We are hoping that Colin's prediction doesn't come true. If it comes true, obviously, that's going to be a very sad commentary for Russia 2018. But this is actually calling on Ghana Raw, the coach of the Super Eagles, and the Nigerian Football Federation to put all in place just to ensure that the predictions of Mr. Collins doesn't come true. All right. That's how we call it a wrap on the Africa's Finest Breakfast Show, Daybreak Nigeria, on television Nigeria. Special thanks to the entire production team who has made this production awesome. And it's been great having you from Monday until today. And I will be seeing you next week for another exciting edition. Final words from Cynthia.
All right, and everything, dude, it's the weekend. And of course, if you're drinking, do not drive. If you're driving, do not drink. Try as much as possible to get to know people around you, and try to keep yourself secure because the times are really, really, really bad. Is on TV Nigerian. My name is Cynthia. I go to have yourself a wonderful weekend and see you on Monday morning.
Good morning.
PDP challenges presidency to reveal reasons for London stopover. Fani Kayode accuses President Buhari over Melaye. Court remands Senator Dino Melaye in peace custody. And in sports, David Luiz asked to remain in Chelsea against odds. These and more in a moment. I am Nten Ekbang with the AM News. The People's Democratic Party has challenged the presidency to end the official secrecy and reveal the reasons behind President Muhammadu Buhari's alleged technical stopover in London. The PDP said the decision of the presidency to make Buhari's trip to London a secret was unconstitutional. A statement by PDP spokesperson Kola Olugbundiyan challenged Buhari's handlers to tell Nigerians the truth. PDP said the presidency should always disclose the president's itinerary as his trips are funded by the country. The opposition party accused the president of embarking on a fruitless and embarrassing outing. The party said that instead of returning to the country, the president detoured to the UK for another private visit without regard to full disclosure requirements of the Constitution and laws. Former Aviation Minister Femi Fani-Kayode has accused President Muhammadu Buhari of being behind the ordeal of Kogi West Senator Dino Melaye. The People's Democratic Party chieftain claimed that Buhari was behind the humiliation and disgrace of Melaye. Fani-Kayode said Buhari was against Melaye because the lawmaker was opposing the current all-progressive Congress-led federal government. He made the allegation while sharing a photograph of Melaye being wheeled into an ambulance on a stretcher. In a tweet, Fani-Kayode described the ordeal of Senator Melaye as a result of cruelty and wickedness meted to him because he had the guts to oppose you. The vocal former aviation minister called on the president to call those around him to order. Fani-Kayode also lambasted the president, insisting that the maltreatment of Senator Melaye indicates that no one is safe. And still ahead, court remands Senator Dino Melaye in police custody, and in sports, David Luiz asked to remain in Chelsea against odds, and on foreign scene, Qatar accuses Saudi Arabia of violating laws. Welcome to Living Treasures Academy. Enjoy a conducive and serene learning environment. Qualified and experienced teachers, equipped computer laboratory and library, secured atmosphere, extracurricular activities, and all-embracing curriculum for total development of the child. Comprehensive education for leadership. Join us today from creche to secondary levels. Living Treasures Academy, committed to excellence. Welcome back. A senior magistrate court 2 in Lokoja, Kogi State has remanded Senator Dino Melaye, lawmaker representing Kogi West, in police custody till June 11, 2018. The senator, who was brought into the court in a police ambulance, was accused of armed sponsoring. The embattled senator was on Thursday arraigned at the magistrate court in Lokoja, Kogi State. Melaye, who was earlier arraigned at the Chief Magistrate's Court, Wuse, for criminal conspiracy and was granted bail for 90 million naira, was rearrested to immediately face other criminal charges against him in Lokoja, Kogi State. In a statement, spokesman for the Nigerian police, Jimoh Moshood, said Senator Dino Melaye was arraigned in court at the Chief Magistrate Court in Wuse, Abuja, for criminal conspiracy, causing damage to government property, attempted suicide, and escape from lawful custody. However, Melaye was brought into the court premises in an ambulance amid heavy security. And moving on to sports now, former Brazil and Chelsea star Alex has urged defender David Luiz not to leave the Stamford Bridge club despite falling out of favor with manager Antonio Conte. Luiz started just one Premier League fixture for the Blues in 2018 and is being linked with a number of European clubs, including Monaco and Napoli. The defender was a key player for Conte last season, playing over 40 games as the Blues won the Premier League title. The 31-year-old was dropped earlier in the year following Chelsea's 4-0 defeat to Roma in the Champions League. Alex, however, has advised Lewis to stay at West London club because it is an exceptional club. And on the foreign scene, Qatar has accused Saudi Arabia of flagrant violation of law after the kingdom's authorities arrested a Qatari returning from Yemen, the latest Gulf crisis flashpoint. In a statement released by the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Doha called for the immediate release of Mohsen Saleh Sadoun Al-Karba, adding that the Saudis were responsible for his safety and security. The Foreign Ministry explained that the arrest and detention of the Qatari citizen Al-Kariba by Saudi authorities without charge is a flagrant violation of national laws. It said that the 36-year-old suffered from chronic health problems that require continuous health care. And that's the AM News on Television Nigerian. The headlines once again. PDP challenges presidency to reveal reasons for London stopover. Fani Kayode accuses President Buhari over Malaya. Court remands Senator Dino Malaya in police custody. And in sports, David Luiz asked to remain in Chelsea against all odds. Remember, save the best for the last. You may need it sooner than you think. I am Nten Ekbang. Good morning and have a fabulous Friday ahead of you.